Right, hello and welcome everybody. Today we are going to be going over the Greener Homes program in a little bit of detail. I'm not going to dive too far in because there's specific things to know for every single upgrade that you need to do. This will be a bit of an overview for the homeowner. So if you own the home, which is a part of the criteria to be eligible for rebates, you need to own the home. It needs to be your primary residence. You can receive up to $5,000 back for doing upgrades. That sounds great, but depending on the upgrades you're doing, you may or may not receive that amount of money. So it all depends on what you're doing, and or also maybe you do multiple things to the house that gets you up to the $5,000. But it's not as simple as registering, doing some upgrades, getting $5,000. So how the program works is you do need to be the homeowner. It needs to be your primary residence. And then also, depending on if you have, retail space in the building or other things like that, you may or may not be eligible. If the building is too large, it may not be eligible. If it's over 3 stories, it may not be eligible. So there's many different things that could qualify or disqualify you from being able to participate in the program. And another thing to note is, depending what province you live in, you need to register on the Greener Homes website, or you might need to register through your provincial utility or provincial efficiency program. It all depends where you are. And for the cost of the evaluation and to go through the program, this also varies province by province. Some provinces, it might only be $100. Some provinces, you might need to pay certain money at the initial evaluation and some more money at the final. And you can also get reimbursed up to $600 for that stuff if you do work to the house. So the quick ins and outs of the program is, once you've registered either through the Greener Homes website or your province, then you will be scheduled to get an energy evaluation done on your home, where an energy advisor is going to show up. They're going to measure the entire house, all your windows and doors. They're going to check all the insulation throughout the entire home, including the attic if there's access. And they're going to look at all your mechanical systems. They're going to do an air tightness test to see how airtight the home is. And then they're going to provide you with some reports, which will include sort of a snapshot of the house as it is now, how it compares to a new house built to code today, some information about your house, where your heat loss is, where your energy usage is going, and also a renovation upgrade report, which will have recommended upgrades to do to the home. Now, depending what province you're in also, you may be eligible for provincial rebates and federal rebates, and there might be additional provincial rebates for things that aren't included in the Greener Homes program. That's all stuff you're going to have to look into. Now, in terms of the Greener Homes program, the eligible retrofits you can do to the house include insulation, and it's kind of broken up into basement insulation, main wall, above grade wall insulation, and attic insulation. And depending on if it's the basement, the main walls, or the attics, there's different grant amounts. There's also different criteria. You need to, insulate a certain percentage of your basement to get a rebate back. The starting insulation level versus the final insulation level can determine what rebate you get. The attic type can determine the amount of rebate you get as well. There's air sealing rebates. So if you're able to make your house more airtight, which would be sealing like windows and doors, if you have any penetrations in the basement that are coming through the walls, if you can seal that stuff up, your energy advisor should be going around after they do the air tightness test and kind of pointing out leakage areas to focus on. You can get rebates for replacing your windows and doors, for replacing thermostats, or putting in a heat pump for heating, or a heat pump hot water heater, or installing solar panels. And then there's resiliency measures like waterproofing your basement, stuff like that. So there's a lot of things you can get money back for. And also, if you're in northern communities or indigenous communities, there are potentially additional rebates as well for things like boilers and furnaces. So do your research. Where you are, what province you're in can really affect sort of what you're going to get back. And also, you might be able to get more money back from the province, or stuff for money back for things like ventilation systems, things like that, which aren't included in the Greener Homes program. So it really does depend. Now, How the process works essentially is once you've had that initial visit from an energy advisor, at that point and at that point only, you're basically allowed to start doing the work. If you've done any work prior to that initial visit, if you purchased any materials or anything like that beforehand, none of that stuff's going to be eligible. So you need to wait for the energy advisor to come. Once they've been there, as soon as they're done, basically start doing work at that point, but you probably want to wait to get the reports back so you have an idea of what is being recommended, what's been suggested, what insulation levels to achieve, that kind of thing. And then for stuff like heat pumps and heat pump hot water heaters, windows and doors, those all need to be on specific lists that you can find on the Greener Homes site. So if you look up eligible grants, click on space and water heating, click on the heat pumps, then there will be a link to a website where you can check if the heat pump that the contractor is recommending is on the approved list. If it's not, you're not going to get a rebate. And also to get rebates, you need to keep all your receipts. And for stuff like heat pumps, heat pump hot water heaters, you're going to need that proof that the contractor was a licensed person who's able to actually do the work and install the systems. If you don't have that, you're not going to be getting the rebate back. So just remember, keep all your receipts, documentation. Depending on the upgrade, you might need more paperwork done for the contractor to sign to prove that they're able to do the work, that kind of stuff. And then after you've done everything, you want to get in touch with the service organization, which is the company that has all the energy advisors that would have done your initial home evaluation. And they'll come back, they'll do a final inspection, they'll check all of the upgrades, they'll take pictures of all the receipts and documentation that you have. And then after that, you'll have to wait to get the rebate back from the federal government. And that's kind of how it goes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer stuff. This is just a quick overview. Yeah, it's a little more complicated than just simply signing up, doing some work, getting the $5,000 back. So yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. And thanks for watching and have yourselves a good one.